Hello, hello, and welcome. My name is Rob. I'm with ConnectionBilingue.com, and thank you for joining. This is our Udemy class here. Um, Attached to this video, you're going to find two things. You're going to find your vocabulary list. That's going to send you to SpanishDictionary.com. That's where I will host all of my Spanish, my vocabulary will be hosted through there because that's what I use and it works. So feel free to jump into that. It is completely free. You will need a login. Once again, completely free, a great resource that is something that I recommend for anybody who's trying to advance in the Spanish language. So that's the first thing that you're going to find. The second thing you're going to find is going to be a PDF of today's lesson, what we're going to be covering in this lesson. I will say neither one of these things are necessary. You can just click the next button if you would like. But if you're trying to advance in Spanish, I would recommend having these resources and going through them and really diving into them, especially in regards to the vocabulary, because we will use this vocabulary in the lesson today. And if you would like to really glean all that this lesson has to offer, I recommend going ahead and going through that vocabulary. The reason why you're watching this is because you want to learn Spanish. That's the way you're going to learn Spanish. So I look forward to having all of you. At the very end of the course today, you are going to have a PDF called Connect with Me. On that Connect with Me PDF, it's going to have my name, my phone number, my email address, my Instagram, my Facebook, my WhatsApp. Feel free to contact me. If you have any thoughts, concerns, good jokes, anything like that, please send them my way because I really love having feedback. I love connecting with the individuals who are going through this. So if there's anything that I can do for you, please send me a message. I'll be glad to connect with you. You have a great rest of your day. We'll see you soon. Hello, hello, and welcome back. We are going to be covering some personal pronouns today. I hope you enjoyed your vocabulary. You're going to see some of the words that you just finished studying. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. So in my personal opinion, one of the easiest ways to learn Spanish, the first step in learning Spanish is to learn a little bit of English. So we're going to focus in on this area right over here, where we're going to be looking at what is our first, second, third person? What is singular and plural of that first, second, and third person? Because whenever we categorize it like this, it's going to help out a lot in the future. So singular is going to be, first person singular is I. I think we hear that first person point of view. Second person point of view is going to be you speaking. So if normal conversation, let's say this is first person, this is second person. Hello, how are you? Because they're talking to you. I'm well. So now they're responding about themselves. I am well. How is he? Okay, now they're talking about a third person somewhere else. So once again, third person, and you've heard like we may need a third person to come in and talk about this, or let's see if we can get a third person in this. So third person is going to be somebody else that's not in the I and you. How are you? Second person. I am fine. First person. What is he doing? What is John doing? What is whoever else, somebody else doing? But notice it's still singular. Now let's go over here to plural. What is this is another fun question that I ask people. What's the plural version of I? Well, it's we, because I am included in a we. So plural first person is we. Plural second person is you, and a lot of times I have to clarify. It could be you, you all, you guys, hey y'all, things like that. But a group of people that I'm talking to, I'm still going to consider them a you. Plural of third person is going to be they, or you can do like John and Rosa are blah 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 blah. So third person, they. This also can be objects. Third person can be objects, and all of these are going to make sense in just a little bit, because whenever we're constructing sentences in Spanish, it is very important to have our brain organized in this chart right here. And so let's jump over to the Spanish equivalent. So this is yo, first person, I translates to yo. Second person is going to be tú. There is an apostrophe. Go ahead and correct that now. Tú or usted. Usted is formal. If you want to say, how are you, sir? You would say, ¿Cómo está usted, señor? ¿Cómo está usted? Um, instead of saying tú, instead of referring to them as tú, you would be referring to them as usted, and this is very formal, very formal, very formal. Okay? El, which is also supposed to have an accent. El, ella, this is he and she, and notice there's not a word for it because it just barely exists in Spanish, and we'll get to that much further in the lessons. El and ella. We're going to go up here to nosotros, and nosotros, so we, right here, this also can be nosotras if it is a group of all females, nosotros or nosotras. Now, ustedes, now you may think, well, this is a group of plural formal people. It's not. Gotcha. So, ustedes is our version of you plural. It means y'all. You guys plural, but you'll notice there's a red arrow, and we'll talk about that in a second. Okay. Plural of, now if it's a group of gentlemen or a mixed group, it's going to be ellos. It could be male, female. 100 females, 1 male. It's now ellos. Sorry, ladies. Ellas. Ellas. This is a group of females. Ellos or ellas. So these are all called your personal pronouns. They are pronouns, pronombres personales. They are called pronouns, and because instead of me saying, well, Rob is, I'm going to say I am. I'm not going to always say my name. I'm not always going to say you by your name. I'm going to use a pronoun instead and call you the word you or tú. And that's, pronouns replace names. So, él, ella, nosotros, ustedes, ellos, and ellas. Now, these right here have arrows going to this third box, this third person box, and you can see it's first, second, and third are usually written like this with the little degree sign. So first, second, and third, primero, segundo, tercero. Yo, tú, usted, él, ella, nosotros, ustedes, ellos, ellas. But usted has an arrow pointing down here. It's because even though we're going to understand it forever to be second person, it will be conjugated, and we'll get to that word later, down here in the third person box, as well as ustedes is also going to go down here in this particular box. We're not going to dive into that right now, but you just need to know it exists for now, and then we'll come back to it later on. This is just an explanation of first person singular, second person singular. You can see 1S, 2S, 3S, 1P, 2P, 3P. That's how I do organize a lot of my my charts that you will see here soon enough. Or you can see it, it's just a straight line like this. Yo, tú, my formatting is off, usted, and then that one's correct. You, nosotros, you plural, it has an X on it because there is a word over here. It's called vosotros. It's mainly used in Spain and maybe Argentina. I don't use it. I don't teach it. If you want to look that up, talk to ChatGPT or Google it. So now let's dive into this very, 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 very important word. Now, I said a minute ago the word conjugate. Conjugate. Conjugate, conjugations of the verb to be. Well, the verb to be in English is going to surprise you because it is whenever I say I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, and like I said, it is barely exists in Spanish. We are, you are, they are. So this is how we conjugate the word to be in English. I am, you are, he, she is, it is, we are, you are, they are. Now, in Spanish, You know how some over here in English, they're a little bit of the same. We only have three: am, are, is. Am, are, is, and then it agrees to the various persons. In Spanish, every single one has a different way that it is conjugated. Eres, tú eres, tú eres. Él es. Ella es. Usted es. Nosotros somos. And then we're going to skip vosotros. Ellos son. Ellas son. Ustedes son. Now notice this is not the word son like we have in English. It's son. Son. It's not somos. It's somos. 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 So we're going to go through it again. Soy. Eres. It's not eres. It's eres. 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 Soy. Eres. Es, somos, son. Now, one thing that I recommend people to do in their free time is walk around and they say soy, eres, es, son. And as you're doing that, you're organizing your brain on how that verb is conjugated. There are 5 different ways to say that, and this is in present tense. So I am, you are, he is, she is, you are. So this is formal. You are, sir. Nosotros somos, ellos son, ellas son, ustedes son. Now, why are these over here? Why are these crossed out? Well, it's kind of redundant because you're not going to find the word soy out there in Spanish without an understood yo in this. So I can say soy Rob, soy Rob, soy Rob. Soy alto, I'm tall. I don't have to say yo soy because soy is already understood to include yo. So that's why that's crossed through. It's the same thing with here, tú eres. You're not going to hear eres anywhere else other than being attached to the word tú. Él, ella, and usted es. If you're using the usted form, you don't have to say usted, but if you're trying to make it clear that you are trying to respect somebody, say the word usted, but you don't have to. Él and ella, if you're talking about somebody and you're already using a pronoun, you're not clarifying their name, the argument could be made that you don't have to use él or ella. Over here, in nosotros, the word somos is always going to have the word nosotros attached to it, understood. You don't have to say it. Same thing over here. If you're already using pronouns like ellos or ellas, you already know who you're talking about. Son, ustedes son. So there's that. I hope that's helpful for you. Once again, just a brief review. Yo, tú, usted, ella, es, goodness gracious. Yo, tú, usted, él, ella, nosotros, ustedes, ellos, ellas. Go ahead and also take your time to pronounce some of these because the double L is going to have the y sound rather than ella, ellos, ellas. And sometimes there's a little J sound that's ellos, ellas. And so sometimes there's like a little sneaky Z sound that you may hear in it. Ella. So, anyways, we'll see you in the very next video. Different types of adjectives. Sorry, messing with my computer here. Different types of adjectives. So we've talked about some descriptive adjectives: the big, red, awesome, iconic. That's big house. We've talked about some of that in our previous videos. But now we're going to talk about possessive adjectives, and there are 2 different ways, and we have the 2 different ways in English as well. So this could be your short form or your long form, and then we're going to talk about demonstrative adjectives. So possessive adjectives are going to be, let's look at the short form first, and then we'll come back with the long form. The short form is going to be first person, second person, third person. All these are going to be singular. First person plural, second person plural, third person plural. Now, notice this is pretty much the thing. What would be the first person singular that would go with this? Like we talked about. Well, this is yo, I, you, Tu. This would be he, she, or it. First person plurals, nosotros, us. We're not going to talk about that one because I don't do that one. And then we're going to talk about su. Now, what's cool about this is how do we say something belongs to I? Well, it's my. It's going to be me. And we'll apply some of this here in just a minute. If something belongs to you, it is your. If something belongs to him, or to her, if it belongs to he or she, it's going to be su. If it belongs to us, it's going to be nuestro. If it belongs to them, it's also going to be su. So let's apply some of this real quick so that it really can sink in, has a chance to sink in. Oh, hello. That's fine. My red car is fast. Okay. Carro rojo is rápido. Okay. So we're trying to define two different things here. Which of these words belongs here? It's going to be my. Mi carro rojo. Mi carro rojo. Now, we're going to take a look up here, like where we left off. Okay, it's a car. It's going to be third person. It's going to be singular because there's just one car. The word's going to be is in English, and so, therefore, it's going to coordinate with this same box over here in the soy, eres, es, somos, son dichotomy. Over here, es. So down here, because it is singular, mi carro rojo es rápido. Mi carro rojo es rápido. Now let's continue. The red cars are mine. The red cars are mine. Okay? So this is going to be changing it up a little bit. And we're going to, because we are going to use the long form in this, so rather than doing my over here, we're changing it up. We're changing the sentence structure. My red car is fast. The red cars are mine. So how do we translate the word the? Okay, it's going to be the word los carros rojos, just like we talked about in the past, how it's all masculine and it's all plural, so they all have to match. Son. Now let's come up here. So because it's plural, third person, because it's an object, it's not a he, she, it. Oh, it isn't it. So, but it's plural of it, so it's going to be a they. It's going to be over here with the word son. So we're going to come back down here. Los carros rojos son. Now, they're mine. We can't put me. We can't do that. What we can do up here, this is the long form. So my red car is one way to say it. That's the short form. Now, if we're trying to say it in the long form, we're going to come over here. Los carros rojos son míos. Okay, now what does this right here mean? Well, this just simply means that it's going to agree. It's going to be an adjective, so it has to agree in number and gender, like all the other things. And then we could add an S if we need to. So it's just going to be fluid to whatever the situation is. Los carros rojos son míos. Now notice míos is masculine and plural because it has to agree with the cars. So we're going to keep on going. I think it's going to do short form and then long form. So your big house is beautiful. Okay? Tu over here corresponds with the word your. Tu Now notice, remember how I had to put in the apostrophe in the last one? Right here, tu, just to say yours, your, does not have the apostrophe. So that's important whenever it comes to distinguishing which is which. So tu casa grande, your big house. Okay, now you tell me, is this going to be es hermosa or son hermosa? Because one of these corresponds with singular and the other responds to plural. So which one is it going to be? If you said singular, you are correct. Tu casa grande es hermosa. And notice I'm saying hermosa. Hermosa, because the H is going to be silent. Now, let's just do a quick exercise here. Because it is important to notice up here, there's an S in apostrophe over here. Because if we're going to say, your big houses are beautiful, well, we're going to need to change things over here. Tus casas grandes son hermosas. Every word in there now becomes plural. It is important to note that your short form adjectives will agree also in number and gender. So, tus casas grandes son hermosas is how that would be. Let's jump back up here. Let's make my red cars are fast. Mis carros rojos son rápidos. Everything has to become plural. Mis carros rojos son rápidos. Okay, and we continue. We did that. Okay, now we're changing it up to be long form. So the big houses are yours. So we are putting the long form here, meaning that the long form of the word, it's the same in English, because we can say my house is mine. Okay, my is short form, mine is long form. So the big houses are yours. So what's the word for the? La. Now, is it plural? Yes, so it's going to be las. Las casas grandes. Is it going to be es or son? One is for singular, the other is for plural. And we are making this plural. It's going to be son. Las casas grandes son yours. Well, it's going to be up here. It's going to correspond to second person singular. Tuyas. Because it has to agree. Now let's make all of it singular. La casa grande es tuya. That's perfect. La casa grande es tuya. Because it has to agree in number and gender. We're going to keep on going. His blue book is interesting. Okay, so well, wait, hold on. In English, we have his or her or and their and theirs and all of that. Well, Spanish makes it pretty easy because, and sometimes a little not clear, it's all going to be su, or sus. Long form is going to be suyo, suya, suyos, or suyas. Same down here, suyo, suya, suyos, suyas. So, his blue book is interesting. This right here is just going to be su libro azul. Is it singular or plural? It is singular. Es interesante. Okay, so now the blue books are his. Okay, the how do you translate the? It's going to be the word el libro. Does it need? Okay, it is actually plural. Los libros azules, because this ends with a consonant. There's not really a vowel to change, so we're just adding es to make it plural. Now, is it singular or plural? Once again, books are his. We're going to change this to the word son. It's just going to be the word son. His, okay? Now, this was the short form of his. Now we're doing long form of his. It's going to be right up here, third person singular, Ya. Now is it going to be suyo, suya, suyos, suyas? Los libros suyos. Boom, right there. Our green table is small. Now, it is singular. Mesa verde es. So we're going to go ahead and keep it as an es. Es pequeña. Our green table is small. Our. It's going to be this word right here. Nuestro, nuestra, nuestros, nuestra. Because it's singular and feminine, it's going to be nuestra. There we go. Es pequeña. The green table, the green tables are ours. The green table are ours. The green tables are ours. That's fun. So, the green tables, las mesas verdes. Okay, this is another one. Ends with an E, so we just add an S. Las mesas verdes son ours. There's no change in this. It's just going to keep on going, and it's going to agree in number and gender. Nuestras. Woohoo! Their brown dogs are happy. There is going to be this one right here. Su. Now, is it singular or plural? Sus. It has to agree on number and gender. Sus perros marrones son felices. Now, this would normally be feliz, but because it ends with a Z, we have to change it to be a C-E-S. The brown dog is theirs. It's just singular. El perro marrón, no ES needed. Is it singular or plural? It's singular, so we're going to go with es. Theirs is going to be suyo. Now, in English, we like to put theirs because we like to put s at the end of possessive things. But in Spanish, don't let that confuse you because this is singular. This also can be singular. So here's alrighty. We are going to continue on to the different types of adjectives that exist. All right here we're going to start. We've covered with descriptive adjectives. We just finished with possessive adjectives, talking about my, your, his, her, it's, our, theirs, and the long form mine, yours, his, hers, it's, our, theirs. And now we're going to talk about demonstrative adjectives, and we are going to continue doing this because we have to continue to remember that all adjectives must agree in number and in gender. So demonstrative adjectives. In singular form, and I think you covered a little bit in this in your vocabulary, but in English we have this, that, these, and those. And we also have that over there. Well, we don't say over there in Spanish. We have a specific word for it called aquel. But este or esta, because this is going to be the masculine singular version. Masculine singular version. This right here is going to be the feminine singular version if we're trying to use the word this. Same thing over here. Ese, that, if it's singular. Esa, if it's, I said singular, but I meant masculine. Singular feminine is going to be esa. Now over here, over there, aquel, aquella. Now that's, if it's pretty far away, you're going to say that over there, that way over there. And also people say like back in those days, back in aquel tiempos, that's super far away. So plural, if it's plural, so this, that, these, so these masculine plural is going to be estos. These feminine plural, estas, esos, and esas. So pretty much you can categorize it in your mind however you need. Este, esta, estos, estas, ese, esa, esos, esas. You can categorize it that way in your mind. You can categorize it however, whatever makes sense for you. Aquel, aquella, aquellos, aquellas. Aquellos, aquellas. Goodness gracious. Aquellos, aquellas. So once again, just following the regular number and gender rules. The only difference that you need to pay attention to is this is not going to be esto at the moment, and this is not going to be eso at the moment. It's going to have an E there. Okay, all right, so let's take a look at these. Those ideas are innovative. Those ideas. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is figure out what is the noun. The noun is ideas. Okay, the noun is ideas. Is it ideas masculine or feminine? Las ideas. Okay, so it is feminine and it is plural. So feminine and plural is what everything else has to agree with. Those, this, that, these, those, over here, those. And feminine, esas ideas. Now, is it singular or plural? Because it is plural, we're going to go with son innovadoras. Innovadoras. It's going to be innovative. Innovadoras. It is feminine and plural. We are going to add an A and an S there. This sharp pencil is mine. Okay, so we're adding a little, or we're combining a couple different lessons here. This sharp pencil, okay, well, first of all, is lápiz masculine or feminine? It's going to be masculine. And is it singular or plural? It is singular. So masculine and singular is what everything has to agree with. This sharp pencil, this, so we're going to put este lápiz afilado es, because it's singular, mío, es mío. Este lápiz afilado es mío. Good job. Those books are his. Those books are his. Okay, what's the noun here? ¿Qué es el sustantivo? What is the noun? The sustantivo. Okay, libros. Libros is the noun. Is it masculine or feminine? It's masculine. Is it singular or plural? It is plural. So masculine, plural. Those is plural. Those right over here, masculine, plural. Esos libros azules son suyos. Suyos, because suyos is his, and it agrees in masculine and plural. That delicious fruit is sweet. Which is it? Is it masculine or feminine? La fruta is feminine. So la fruta deliciosa es or son dulce. The word dulce is the word sweet. It's also a popular name. La fruta deliciosa es dulce. Dulce. Because it is singular, it's going to be the word es. Remember, this is the verb to be. This green table is small. This green table is small. This, that, these are those. First of all, which is the noun? The noun is mesa. Is it masculine or feminine? It is feminine. And is it singular or plural? It is singular. So singular of this. Esta mesa verde, is it singular? It is singular, so we're going to stick with es pequeña. And then I'm going to do this last one, and then I'll leave the rest of them for you to do. That hospital is big. Now hospital, is it singular or plural? It is singular, so we're going to come up here with that. That hospital is big. Ese, because it is masculine. Ese hospital es grande. Ese hospital es grande. So go ahead, you can finish those, knock those out. Let me know how that goes. You're more than welcome to connect with me. Now, so what about things that don't really exist and we need to use the neutral this, that, or that over there? Well, what are things that don't exist? Neutral pronouns or neuter pronouns are used to refer to concepts, ideas, or unspecific things, and they do not accompany a noun because they don't describe specific objects. What? What does that even mean? They can be plural, as they can represent abstract concepts or general references or situations rather than concrete countable nouns. That is what I mean. Okay, so this is a little bit more complex grammar, but what we're illustrating here is that is what I mean. That is what I mean. Well, what is that? You're not really describing anything. So right here, the word that is going to be the word eso es lo que yo quiero decir. Yo quiero decir. Eso es lo que quiero decir. What does this mean? What is this? What is this referring to? It doesn't have a particular gender noun that it's associating with. So what does this mean? ¿Qué significa esto? ¿Qué significa esto? Instead of this up here where it's este or ese, you're making it neutral by keeping that O there. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Eso no tiene sentido. That over there. That over there. Aquello es del pasado. That is from the past. So, like I mentioned earlier, how aquel días, like way back then, this is an example of that. Aquello es del pasado. You're bringing up the past, man. Aquello es del pasado. What is this called? Well, if you don't know what it's called, you don't know if it's what gender it is. ¿Cómo se llama eso? ¿Cómo se llama eso? I don't know what this is called. This can also be very useful whenever you're talking about an idea. Or what did they say? Well, something that somebody said doesn't have a gender or anything like that. So it is an abstract concept. It is an abstract idea. So Spanish does give us some flexibility whenever it comes to having a gender-neutral scenario to explain things. So I hope that's helpful to you, and we'll see you in the next session. Thank you so much for joining, and yeah. Hello. Congratulations, you've made it this far. So this right here is going to be your invitation to join our online learners class with Duolingo. I am a Duolingo certified instructor. So what we're going to be doing here is going to be, you're more than welcome to join the online learners class by clicking this link here, and I'll show you what to do here. This right here can be a little bit misleading, so I'll show you what to do here. This whole bit is about how to create a profile. This right here, the main thing that you're going to take away here is this class code. So have that class code, what do you do with it? So go over here to this more settings, and it's the same buttons on your phone. So find the more settings, go over here and click the settings button, and find the button that says Duolingo for School. Right here, this is where you can enter in that class code and hit submit, or if you want to click the link. So I'm not going to hit submit right here. I'm just going to click the link. I just went back over. You can't see it, but it's going to open it over here. And either way, whether you were going to hit submit right there or hit yes, join here, boom, success. You've joined Robert Hash's classroom. It's now able to follow your learning progress and give you assignments that will appear in the sidebar. So isn't that awesome? Congratulations, you've joined. But yeah, that's your walkthrough on how to join the Duolingo class. I absolutely love Duolingo. My goal for you is that as you're going to be learning the different modules in Udemy, you're going to be able to apply them in Duolingo, and as well as you're playing with the vocabulary. You're mixing it with Duolingo. So you're learning, you're applying, and then you're getting the grammar here with Udemy. That's a three ways of different learning approaches. So I really hope that really benefits you. So excellent. Thank you so much. Excellent. And I am so glad to also continue to inviting you to this here Connection Bilingue free Spanish community. There is no sales allowed here on this, so this is just personal interaction. Please don't try to sell any of your products here. I will delete you. But let's go ahead and do a quick tour here. Welcome to the Free Spanish community. This is a relaxed, no pressure space where we Share Spanish in chats, thoughts, resources, and the joy of learning and connecting. There's no catch, just a friendly environment to explore Spanish together whether you're here to practice, ask questions, or make new friends. I'm excited to have you join. No sales, no strings, just genuine free fun with Spanish. So this just a quick tour of here. Please feel free to join. It is a growing environment. Just a couple of things. I don't know, just observe and enjoy. Sometimes I'll post the different things like little translations. What do you notice here? And then we'll talk about it. There's a couple. Como se dice the beach? So, and go in there. Feel free if you have something that's like this that you want to share. You're more than welcome to do that. It is a group. I'm not the only one able to talk. Como se dice dog in Spanish? And so we had a couple people. Go at it. Perro, I love it. I learned a new word today. See, that's what it's all about. I joined because my daughter has several grandchildren, spouses, and from Mexico, and I want to be able to communicate and visit in Rio Grande Village. Isn't that awesome? That's so cool. And she uploaded a picture from Eden, Oklahoma. But sometimes I go over some grammar stuff. El Niño, Los Niños, and I think we covered that in one of our videos. I think that's in our free one. This is my hometown. This is whenever any guesses what atardecer means, and then everybody's like, muy bonita, sunset, good job. So we sometimes do some quotes. This is another one. So this is just a quick preview of what the Connection Bilingüe Free Spanish community does. So you are more than welcome to join in and introduce yourself. Have fun with it.